Hey guys, my name is Nemo, and guess what? So the Planeswalkers 2013 expansion has come out. So let's get some expansion gameplay going, right? So I just finished with the expansion campaign. I still have the revenge campaign and challenges to go. And in case you're curious, of course I've done the campaign. I've done the revenge campaign, normal thing as well, and the plane chase and stuff. So I'm thinking that maybe I'll make videos of the revenge campaign for the expansion and the challenges, but if I do the challenges then I'm just going to give you the answers. I'm not going to put myself through that same thing again. I think it was mostly just a little bit too boring. That's why. And obviously it's better to just do the revenge campaign if I'm going to do any of the campaign on video. But anyways, I wanted to give you my first thoughts as I unlock these decks. I played the black and white deck against Selesnya, then I played Selesnya's deck against Azorius, Azorius' deck against Rakdos, the Rakdos deck against Izzet, and the Izzet deck against Golgari. That's what I did. I felt that Selesnya's deck seems the strongest so far because, and the Planeswalker isn't called Selesnya, by the way, that's just the guild name. But the Selesnya deck seems the strongest so far, green and white, because it has a lot of cheap ways to make tokens, to double the amount of tokens it makes, and to deal a lot of damage with those tokens. I don't know. It seems like a really strong deck, and it has two Heroes of Bladehold. Those cards are pretty powerful. So so far I think Selesnya is probably also the easiest of these to play. But I don't know. Well, Azorius seems pretty easy to play as well, but I haven't seen much from Azorius yet, except I know that the 3/1 flyers are pretty good because they can turn your creatures into 3/1 flyers as well. So if you're trying to be, if you have some really powerful creature or something, then they turn it into a 3/1 flyer. Of course, the 3/1 flyer is still pretty powerful, but I mean it's a good option to have. So I was a little bit impressed by those. When I read the card list for this deck, I didn't realize that those could just target the opponent's creatures as well. And I was like, what? But yeah, okay. So that's pretty good about that deck, and obviously you can turn your unblockable guys into 3/1 flyers as well. Not that they need flying, but they're good when they have 2 extra power, right? So pretty powerful deck overall, but it has a limited amount of life link. In it, sources of life link. It has Daybreak Coronets and 1 life link, Aura, and I think those are the only sources. And the thing is that it's just a deck that really just tries to raise the opponent. I don't think it has a plan B. So if it's really only trying to raise the opponent, then having a little bit more sources of life link would have been very useful to this deck. And because it doesn't have those, and because it's lacking a bit in powerful enchantments that just up the power and toughness of your creatures as well, I think it may be less powerful than Auramancer in 2012. However, it does have a lot more hexproof creatures. So the auras have become weaker, but the creatures have become less easy to 2-for-1. And then Rakdos was an interesting deck for me to play against. Yeah, it just does a lot of unexpected things. It's hard for me because Rakdos and the Golgari deck, they seem a little bit alike, but then not really, you know, and it's hard to explain where the difference really lies. But of course this one is red and black and this one is green and black. Well, this one is more about sacrificing your creatures, and this one is, well, also a little bit about sacrifice. I don't know. This one is about discarding and damage, and this one is about gaining incremental advantage and being a little bit slower. But this one is about hand disruption, while this one is about making your hand better. I guess that's where the real difference lies between the two decks. Of course, this one is also a little bit more aggressive. Although with all the, it seems that the promo unlocks are already in the decks. So, and with all the promo unlocks, this deck was really weird to play as when I just picked it up because all the promo unlocks were in it. And it seems there are a lot of 6-drops in the promo unlocks, so I had a really bad hand because of that. And I never got the 6 mana. So that was interesting, but that nothing that a little bit deck building can fix, right? And then there's the Izzet deck, which out of these, I gotta be honest, seems to be the weakest. But it does have a lot of pretty powerful cards nevertheless. The thing is though that the format is pretty fast. And these decks all seem really strong, even in comparison with the 10 original decks, I gotta say. So, yeah. I don't know. It may be that the format is a little bit too fast for the Izzet deck, but and that would be its downfall, because the deck itself is really powerful. So I guess you gotta be really strategic about which cards to include in this deck, and look at, you know, not too many of the too powerful but too slow cards. But if you don't include, if you include too few of them, then what are you aiming for, right? Then what is your ultimate plan to victory? So there's a little bit of a choice there, and it's also, you can also a little bit choose between dealing a lot of damage quickly to the opponent or going for slow again, because you do have cards that can deal a lot of damage if they get the chance, but they might not get the chance. So that's a little bit duality in the Izzet deck. Obviously duality is Izzet's theme, right? It's red and blue, so seems to make sense to me. And then there's Golgari, which I already talked about a little bit, but this deck also seems really powerful, but probably the hardest one to really assess how good it is and what it does without actually playing a lot more games with it. So I can't say too much about this deck yet. It's a little bit it's an interesting deck, let me put it that way. So I'm going to probably play Selesnya first, so I'm gonna go to the deck manager now, and I'm gonna try and sort this deck out with the promo unlocks and the first card I unlock by playing it against Azorius. And then I'm gonna go online and I'm going to see some Selesnya gameplay, so see you with that. Alright guys, I'm back and we're gonna go do some gameplay. I brought this deck down to 60 cards for now. Obviously I have a lot more unlocks to go, and it's the PC version, so this is a bad hand, just too much high cost stuff. Okay, I guess I'm taking this. At least Nova Blast Worm is pretty much the most powerful card in the deck, it seems. I don't know, it just seems really powerful, but also really against the strategy of this deck, perhaps. I'll have some turns where I have nothing to do. I can drop my Evolving Wild, so. And Yeti is at least something with black in it. So it's either black green or black red or black white, but probably an expansion deck. Okay, it's the black green one. Sprout. I'll get a 1/1. This is an interesting card because instead of just being a 1/1, it's a token 1/1. It gives you a token 1/1. So if you have anything such as Parallel or Lives, sorry if that was really quick. If you have Parallel or Lives, then you can get twice as many tokens. So then suddenly this gives you 2 guys for 1 mana, and then suddenly it's good. Otherwise it's not so great, because most 1-drops at least have one thing special, and this is just a 1-drop. By the way, I'll block here. I don't know what kind of trick he has. If he really wants to land that much, yeah, I'll give him the land if he really wants it. I know it's a bit shitty, but I got nothing to do for a lot of turns, so I really don't want that thing to be bashing in on me. Why did I get a Plains? Because I draw a forest. I knew I'd draw a forest. No worries there. So yeah, I did bring this deck down to 60, but I figured that there's no point in really showing you which cards I took out, because I have no idea either. It's just as new for me as this for you guys. It's really hard to say. I know there are some cards which might be obvious stuff that you might It's a bit unfortunate. Well, I'll drop this guy, and the next turn I can drop Parallel Lives and then Sprout and get 2 tokens out of that. I basically just need to keep him busy for my Nova Blast Worm, which is, this guy isn't really not doing much against Flyer, I guess. Rancor on that is really powerful. I think I'm gonna lose this game. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't really see what I can do. I need something that gains me life or something. Well, I don't think I'm gonna get to enough mana for Nova Blast Worm because I'm dead next turn, you know? So I don't really see. Nope, it's over. I'll play this, show you the little trick here. See, now I'll get 2 tokens. Anyways, that was a quick game. GG. We'll get another game. No worries. Alright, let's try this. Terrible hand. Better. His Trophy Hunter is interesting, but as you just saw, this deck does seem to have problems with flying creatures. So it might be good. It's a free cast, 2 free guy. That you can... Whoa, what the heck? No, I was zooming in on this one. That you can pay 2 mana to deal 1 damage to a creature with flying, and then he becomes bigger. But I mean, as long as they have a flyer that's bigger than 1 toughness, then it never kills anything. And it doesn't grow bigger unless you kill something. So it only works on flyers with 1 toughness. But for instance, what's this? Discard a card. Nova Blast Worm. Sorry. It's just, there's no guarantee I'll ever get to the 7 mana for it. So I'll enchant his guy with this just to get my 2 tokens out of it. You should... Wait, what? Oh yeah, I was gonna say dissolve, but no, there it is. It's an enchantment, gives a creature trample, but his guy is a 1/1, so I don't care about it having trample. And it drops 2 tokens for me. So that's why I put it on his guy, because I don't have anything to enchant it with and I want my tokens. That thing is really good, by the way. Troll Ascetic. Free cast 3/2 with hexproof and can regenerate, so pretty much it never dies. That's all you need to know about it. I'll block here. So his Troll Ascetic is just gonna stay alive the whole game. I'm trying to think of when I'm gonna drop this Evolving Wild. Probably turn 5 if I can. Whatever. Maybe I won't drop Marshal's End. I could wait with that and try to get this Nova Blast Worm out of it. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Yeah, I'll wait for 6 mana, because then I can get my Nova Blast Worm at 6 mana and drop Marshal's Anthem. So next turn I'll do the Evolving Wilds thing. No point blocking here. 2 mana to regenerate it as well. Wow, that guy is ridiculous. That's really powerful. Shit. Because now I need my 2nd forest for Scion of the Wild. Oh well, still have another turn next turn. I'll tackle with this one, because why not? He'll probably block to get his land. Yep. I never really want to trade with that guy, but there's also no point in delaying the inevitable. Sometimes you just gotta be able to deal your damage, you know. I don't know if it was smart to kill it last time, but it's kind of my thing is not to worry about these kind of things. You worry too much about them, you never know, because the 2 damage could also just be 2 damage you didn't want to take. You didn't have to take. This thing is really confusing for new players, I'm gonna say that now. Yeah, this is the turn I drop my Evolving Wilds, okay? Yeah. This thing is gonna be really confusing. It grows bigger whenever a card enters the graveyard. So what happens if you've got a Lightning Bolt and you want to play Lightning Bolt on Vulture Zombie and he's a 3/3? Guess what? He becomes a 4/4 and your Lightning Bolt doesn't kill it. Yeah, just say. Just say. Now I think I can attack with this guy and trade. Because this thing isn't in the graveyard until the same time that this thing is in the graveyard. So I think they trade. But with spells you gotta be really careful about it. I can deal 1 damage to the target creature. But it has to die for it to work, so I could have done that. If he traded, then I could have done this just to give this guy a counter, +1/+1 counter. But that didn't happen, so... And I wasn't thinking of it, by the way, at the time. Not gonna lie, I wasn't thinking about it. I wanna die, search the library, blah, 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 blah. Give me a second, bro, I gotta read your cards, I don't know what they're doing. 1 damage. No point in that. Let me read this. 2/1, free cost, 1 dies, you may search your library. 2 basic land cards, reveal them, put them into your hand. Sacrifice, draw a card. Dies, each player sacrifice. Wow. I kinda don't want his guys to die, I guess. But, yeah. So that's annoying. See what happened there? He became a 4/4 because it did that with the Evolving Wilds. That's another thing you gotta worry about here. Anyways, I'm gonna get my Nova Blast Worm now. Thank you very much. Next turn I can attack with that. I can attack here. And I can attack here. And here. I think I'm safe from having to sacrifice my Nova Blast Worm to this Abyssal Gatekeeper. But I'm gonna have to sacrifice something to it. And that thing is at least not gonna draw him a card now. So that's better than if he sacrificed it himself. So I'll get rid of my Saproling here. He'll have to get rid of probably his Troll Ascetic. So what did I say about it never dying? Well, it did. Because this thing is just even better than Troll Ascetic, I guess, at this point. Well, anyways, I lose all my guys if I attack with Nova Blast Worm. So does he. So, having the better board position. If an opponent controls 3 or more creatures, search them out. Beginning of, yeah, I'm not gonna control 3 or more creatures, dude. Yeah, so that pretty much means that I do want to attack Nova Blast Worm. Which means that he can Doomblade my Nova Blast Worm easily. Which would suck. I gotta be honest with you, that would indeed suck, but I guess he'll attack with everything. They're gonna die anyway, but yeah, see. Really doesn't matter. Okay, 8 damage to him. This is instant speed. No point in having Toll Smear on the board except to... No, I'm not playing Toll Smear. I'm just gonna wait until he deals with No Blast One before I play anything else. He has to have the removal for it. I mean, he could just... Okay, I guess I'll play my Sprout then. This makes me discard 2 cards. I know the card from the previous game, so I didn't need to read that one. He's got a 2/2 Creekwood Leash forecast. You might put it one. Okay. Okay. Well, GG. Nova Blast Worm is really powerful. So that, yeah, that pretty much confirms how powerful Nova Blast Worm is, which is what I was expecting. That to be a really powerful card there. So Insurrection. Oh yeah, win a game with against another player with the expansion deck, I guess. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This quick little look into Collective Might, the new Selesnya green and white deck, and my first thoughts on the expansion decks as I unlock them. Now remember that these were indeed, at the start of my video, just my first thoughts. So if I'm wrong about it, then Obviously, it's because they were just my first thoughts, so don't take it too seriously. But that's my thinking there. Anyways, my name is Nemo, and I will still be Nemo next time. See you then.